a fair ordinary dice is thrown. This should actually be die, not dice. Right, on a probability scale below, mark across the probability that the die will land on an even number. Now, to talk about a long way, even numbers are going to be 2, 4, 6. There's 6 sides to the die, so it's going to be 3 out of 6, which is a half, so it's here. Okay, on the probability scale, mark across the probability that the die will land on a 5. So again, it's only way it can land on a 5 is 5, so the 1 way out of 6. 1 way out of 6 is roughly about there. Write a number on the dotted line to make this statement correct. 2.5 litres equal how many millilitres? Now we need to know how many millilitres are in a litre. Now if you thought it was 2.75 metres into millimetres, that's probably a little bit easier to work out because the conversions with the metrics, like your millilitres into millimetres, are essentially the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this to centimetres, which is going to be 275 centimetres. I know there's 10 millimetres in a centimetre, so it's going to be 250, 2750 millimetres. Now I know it says millilitres, but the conversions are exactly the same, so 2750. 4 circles and 4 straight lines. Each circle has a centre marked with a cross. Draw an arrow from each joint. So link them up essentially. Okay. Now the radius is one that we should all know. It's halfway across, so let's do the radius first. Okay. Then the next one we should really know is going to be your diameter, which is this one here. And it's really these two that gets confusing. Now your chord is this bit here. It's imagine like you had a piece of string, which we call a chord, like a chord of string, and you're holding it 2 points of a circle. It'll go there. Now, just for the sake of talking, technically your diameter is also a chord. It's just a special type of chord that goes all the way around. But that's your true chord, and that must mean your tangent. Now, tangent means, if I did a dot there, tangent is like going off at a right angle, which is say when we're going off on a tangent, which I'm sort of doing now, means you're going off and talking about something totally different. 5 digits, usually at least each digit once to complete this calculation. Now, it's a little bit of a harder question. Essentially, we just need to logically do it. Now, if I put 3 here, I know if I'm going to be times it by 2, this one here must be 6. I just randomly chose a 3. So I've got 3, I've got a 6. Let me just put, if I put a 1 there, then that means this must be a 2, but I can't have that option. If I put a 5 here, then this must be a 10. Oh, that works. So if I put a 5 here, this must be a 10. That works. That's one example. Let's try something else. Let's say I put you've got to think about doubles and halves. So if I doubled 1, there's no 2. If I doubled 3, I'll do 6, which I've got 6. If I doubled that, I've got 12. I might be able to put 5 here. Let's see if that works. Because if I put a 5 here, then that means I have to put a 1 and a 0 there. Okay? Which means I can put a 3 here and 3 doubled is 6. Okay? But obviously that doesn't work because if 3 is here doubled, the 6 would actually have to be there to make that 7. So this is not the correct answer. And there's no other way I can do this. 5. Solve 2 brackets x plus 1 equals 8. Now personally I hate brackets, so let's get rid of it. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 1 is 2 equals 8. Let's get rid of the 2's. So the opposite is minus. These cancel out. 2x equals 4. I need to divide both sides by 2 because here I'm timesing, which means x equals 2. Okay, next one. 3y plus 7 equals 19. Again, I need to get y on its own, and 7 stopping me, so I'm taking away 7 from both sides. These cancel out. 3y equals, I'm going to use my calculator for 19 minus 7, which is calculator paper, which is 12. I'm going to divide it by 3, divided by 3. Okay, 12 divided by 3 equals, 12 divided by 3 is 4, so y equals 4. Right, factorise. I can't solve this because there's nothing to equal. So factorise means put it into brackets. I look for a highest common factor of 6 and 4, which is going to be 2. 2 times what is 6n, which is 3n. 2 times what? That's a minus 4. Be careful for that. It's going to have to be minus 2. Information about the letters in each word of a paragraph. What is the modal number of letters in each word? I've already filled out how much each of these bar charts are. I think it's the first thing you should do whenever you do any bar chart question. So it's 5. I've just read it off the scales of left. The modal number is the most common number. So you have to think the most common number is 3, because 3 occurs 12 times. So it's going to be 3. Okay, second bit. Right. Right, work out the range for the numbers of letters in a word. Well, the range is 1 to 10. So it's actually going to be 1 or 10 minus 1, which equals 9. Okay, last question. going to be work out the fraction of the words that have at least 6 letters. Now you've got to think what it means when it says have at least 6 letters. So ask yourself, has 1 got at least 6 letters? Well, no, it hasn't. 2 hasn't. 3, 4, 5. Has 5 got at least 6? Well, yeah, 5 has. 7's got at least 6. 8's got at least 6. 9's got at least 6. 10's got at least 6. So you've got to do 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 2 plus 1. This is 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 2 plus 1. 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 2 plus 1, which equals 15. And that's out of total of all of them added together. It's going to be 5 plus 8 plus 12 plus 10 plus 9 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 2 plus 1. It's out of a total of 59. And this is your answer for the third question, 15 out of 59. Kerry draws a triangle. She says 2 of the angles of my triangle are obtuse. Explain why this cannot be correct. Okay, so if you think about it, if I've got a triangle, if this one here is obtuse, it's got to be above 90. If that one there is obtuse, it's got to be 90. Then these two won't meet. So you've got to think about how you're going to explain it. You'd have to say, if 2 angles are above 90 degrees, then the third angle will have to be negative to equal 180 degrees. Okay. Question 8. T is an integer, 7 is less than t is less than 15. Write down the biggest number t can be. Now, because this is got no equal to it, has got an equal to it, it means it can't be 15, it's got to be a number less than 15. Integer means whole number, so the answer is going to be 14. Okay. If it didn't say integer, then the answer would be 14.999, but I'll be honest with you, you never get asked that. F and G are both integers. F plus G equals 500. F is 160 greater than G. So I need to make an equation of this second part. So I know F is going to be 160 more than G. I've also got my second equation, which is F plus G equals 500. Now we need to solve this. This is a simultaneous equation. Now there are ways we can do this, but just because of what nature it is, it gives us a value of F. And it's confusing because it's 160 plus G. But I can get this value, and I can substitute in for that one there. So I've got 160 plus G, okay, because that's my F, plus another G, which is this bit here, equals 500. And I just solve this. 160 plus 2G equals 500. Put my G's together, now I've got rid of my 160, minus 160 from both sides. Minus my question, which is bad. These cancel out, which give me 2G equals 500 minus 160. I'm going to use my calculator. 340. There's 2 of them. I want 1 of them, so I'm going to divide them by 2. So G is 340 divided by 2, which makes it 170. Okay, now I know what G is, I need to find out what F is. I'm going to use the first one, just for the hell of it. So F plus G equals 500. We know G is 170, so F plus 170 equals 500. Just need to solve it by minus 170 from both sides. These cancel out. F is 500 minus 170, 330. So I'm going to write it. F is 330. G is 170. Now we just want to double check, make sure that they add up to give you 500. They do. And let's just make sure that 330 is 160 greater than 170. So 330 minus 170. 160, perfect, all right. Question 8. T is an integer, 7 is less than t is less than 15. Write down the biggest number t can be. Now, because this is got no equal to it, has got an equal to it, it means it can't be 15, it's got to be a number less than 15. Integer means whole number, so the answer is going to be 14. Okay. If it didn't say integer, then the answer would be 14.999, but I'll be honest with you, you never get asked that. F and G are both integers. F plus G equals 500. F is 160 greater than G. So I need to make an equation of this second part. So I know F is going to be 160 more than G. I've also got my second equation, which is F plus G equals 500. Now we need to solve this. This is a simultaneous equation. Now there are ways we can do this, but just because of what nature it is, it gives us a value of F. And it's confusing because it's 160 plus G. But I can get this value, and I can substitute in for that one there. So I've got 160 plus G, okay, because that's my F, plus another G, which is this bit here, equals 500. And I just solve this. 160 plus 2G equals 500. Put my G's together, now I've got rid of my 160, minus 160 from both sides. Minus my question, which is bad. These cancel out, which give me 2G equals 500 minus 160. I'm going to use my calculator. 340. There's two of them. I want one of them, so I'm going to divide them by 2. So G is 340 divided by 2, which makes it 170. Okay, now I know what G is, I need to find out what F is. I'm going to use the first one, just for the hell of it. So F plus G equals 500. We know G is 170, so F plus 170 equals 500. Just need to solve it by minus 170 from both sides. These cancel out. F is 500 minus 170, 330. So I'm going to write it. F is 330. G is 170. Now we just want to double check, make sure that they add up to give you 500. They do. And let's just make sure that 330 is 160 greater than 170. So 330 minus 170. 160, perfect, all right. 288 chocolates are put into 3 boxes. The chocolates are put in small, medium and large box in a ratio of 1 to 3 to 8. Work out the number of chocolates in each box. Right, so 1 to 3 to 8. First of all, we add them all together. I'm going to use my calculator for that. 1 plus 3 plus 8 is 12. Now there's 288 chocolates in the box. So we want to see how many times. So 12 times what is 288. And to do that, we just work backwards. I'll do 288 divided by 12 equals 24. So now 12 times 24 is 288. So I've got to times all of these by 24. So it's going to be 24 to 3 times 24, 72 to 192. And that's my answer. Now remember, it goes small, medium, large. So it's 24, 72 to 192. Ravi buys some hats at School Fete. He buys 40 hats for £120. He sells 3/4 of them as £4.50 each. He reduces the selling price of the remaining hats to £4. He sells half of the remaining hats at the selling price. Work out the profit. So he sells 3/4. So we do 3/4 of 40. Okay, and I'm just going to do my calculator, it's calculator paper. 3/4 of 40. Type in properly. Which equals 30. Now we know we're selling these at £4.50 each, so we're doing 30 times 4.5. So 30 times 4.5, which is £135 profit. So £135. Okay. He reduces the selling price of the remaining hats to £4 each. So we know the remaining hat is 10 because he's got 30 and there's 40, so it's going to be 10, which he's selling at £4. I can do this, but I'm going to do the calculator anyway. It's properly as well, which is 40. Okay, he's making no more money, so we have to add these together. So 40 plus 135, which is 175. Okay, so that's how much money he's got coming in. He bought them from 120. So we need to work out the difference of these two. Calculate paper, so 175 minus 120 equals £55. And that's his profit. Here are speeds in kilometres per hour of 15 cyclists. Show this information in the stem and leaf diagram. Okay. Now, people just forget what stem and leaf diagrams actually mean. But it's one where it's like this, and then you put your tens there, your units there. Now, there's always a marker people forget, which is for the key. So put the key in first of all. Now, you pick whatever number you want. It doesn't even have to be on here. You put 31 equals 3 line 1. Okay. This is very important. People lose marks just for not putting this key in. If I do nothing else, I've got 1 mark for this key. Now we need to put it in order from smallest to highest. So 16, I'm going to put a ring around it, because if I cross it out I might not be able to see it. I represent this as a 1, and then 6. 18, I put a comma then an 8. Is there anything else? 19, comma then a 9. Then on to my 20s, so I put a 2 there to represent my 20. There's no 21, there's a 22 here and a 22 here. 2, comma 2. 23. There's another 23. 24. 8, no, 25, 8, I'm on my 30s, 31, 33, 34, I want to move on to my 40s, 40 I use a 0 and a 1. This is an accurate scale drawing of two ports A to B. 1 centimetre represents 10 miles. Boat take 5 hours to sail directly from A to B. Calculate the boat's average speed. You must show you working out. Right, first of all, we've got to measure it. Okay, don't know why I'm holding it's upside down, but I am. It says accurate. I want to say this is 6.5 centimetres. Okay, so I know 1 centimetre represents 10 miles. So 6.5 centimetres is going to equal times by 10. It's actually going to be 65 miles. Okay, a boat takes 5 hours to sail from A to B. Calculate its boat speed. So we need speed equals distance over time. I know some of you like to use a triangle. I don't because I'm a mathematician. The distance is 65 miles. Okay, the time is 5 hours. And let's just double check. This says miles per hour. We are working in miles. We are working in hours, so I don't need to convert anything. Type 65 divided by 5 in your calculator. 13. So my answer is 13 miles per hour. Oliver wants to buy some stickers. He only has a £10 note. Each packet of stickers costs £1.29. He wants to buy as many stickers as possible. Work out how much change he should get from a £10 note. So we could just keep going up, do like a £1.29 times table until we hit 10. I could do 10 divided by 1.29. 29. So 10 divided by 1.29. I've got this number. Now we've got to ignore these decimals, so we've got to round it down. So that's just going to be 7. And let's just double check this. 7 times 1.229 equals 9.03. Let me just try it. That goes over £10, so it's definitely 7. So we need to know work how much change. So we've got to do 7 times 1.29, because this is exactly how much he spent. Which equals £9, 3 pence. Because we want to see how much he's got changed, we need to do £10 minus 9.03. Which is 0.97. It's in pounds, so I can't put 97p. Second bit. Jessica wants to buy some stickers. There are 6 stickers in each packet. Jessica works out that she can buy exactly 28 stickers. Is she correct? So essentially what we're doing is saying, is 28 in the 6 times table? So I'm just going to do my calculator. 28 divided by 6. Now because this is not a whole number, not an integer, we know that it's not true. So I'm going to say no. She is wrong. 28 is not in the 6 times table. You could use the words factors or multiples if you want, but this is fine. Ali invests £400 for 5 years in the savings account. The account pays simple interest at a rate of 3.5 per year. Work out the total amount and interest Ali gets. Right, simple interest, what that means is you get the same interest every year. If you said compound interest, then you'd get interest on your interest. So all he's really doing is he's getting £400 and he's getting 3.5 and he's getting the same amount. So because it's calculator paper, I'm just going to put 400 times 3.5%. 400 times 3.5%, okay, which is 14. So he gets £14 interest. He gets it for 5 years. So we'll times this by 5. Okay, so that means to get 70. We're working out the total amount of interest, so the answer is going to be 70. If you said work out the amount that you get in his bank account, then it'd be 470, but it's not. Norma makes bags. She makes 17 bags an hour. Norma works 6 hours a day for 5 days a week. Each bag is checked. If a bag is perfect, it's put in a box. When the 12 bags in a box is full. 1 week, 90% of the bags Norma makes were perfect. Work out the number of boxes completely filled with bags by Norma. Okay, so if she makes, let's work out how many bags she makes in a week first. So if she makes 17 bags an hour, so you've got to do 17. She works for 6 hours a day, times by 6. This is how much she'll do a day. And 5 days a week, so I'm going to times that by 5. I need to calculate for this. 17 times 6 times 5. So she makes 510 a week. So it's checked. If it's perfect, okay. So, okay, good. On 1 week, 90% of the bags normal made were perfect. So 90% of this are perfect. So I'm going to do 510 times 90%. And it's calculator paper, so I'm going to do nothing smart. I'm just going to do 510 times 90%, which is 459. So all of these are perfect. All of these are put in boxes. Okay, we know there's 12 bags in a box, so I need to divide this by 12, which is 38.25. Okay, work out the number of boxes completely filled with bags by normal. Now it's 38 bags, 30 boxes, sorry. And because it's 2.5, it's not a full box, so regardless of what this number is, we're going to be rounding this down. The answer is 38 boxes. Okay, solve this simultaneous equation. Right, I'm going to do it 2 ways. I'm going to do it the easy way, and I'm going to do it the way it works for every single one. Now, 2x plus 3y equals 10. 4x minus y equals negative 1. Now we need to either make your x's or the y's the same. Now I naturally go for the x's, but you want to see which one makes more sense. If I label these up 1, 2, it will make more sense to double the first one to make the x's the same. So the first one, which I'm now going to write with 3, I'm actually going to write it as 4x, because 2x times 2 is 3x. 3y times 2 is 6y, equals 20. Now these two here, so my x's are the same. So I'm actually going to subtract the second one from the third one. So 2 minus 3. And it does matter which way you do it, but it just depends how good your algebra is. So 4x minus 4x is no x's. I'm not going to write anything. Minus y minus 6y actually will give me a negative 7y. Okay. Minus 1 minus 20 will give me minus 21. Now if you don't believe me, trust in the calculator. Minus 1 minus 20 is minus 21. So just in case you're not good with your negative numbers, we can do that. Now minus 7y equals minus 21. We want 1y. So we have to divide this by negative 7. It's important we do it by negative 7 because there's negative 7 here. Divide this by negative 7. So I'm going to have y equals, to be negative 21 divided by negative 7, which is 3. So y is 3. Okay. Now we need to substitute this back into one of these equations. I want a little bit of space here. So I'm going to choose the first one just for the hell of it. So I've got 2x plus 3, and we know y is 3, so it's 3 times 3 equals 10. 3 times 3 is 9, so I've got 2x plus 9 equals 10. Minus 9 from both sides. Okay, so I've got 2x equals 1, so x is going to be a half. X is going to be a half. Okay. Now, I just want to double check this. So I'm actually going to do the second one. I'm going to substitute these values in to see if it works. I'm infringing on the other question, which you shouldn't do. You should put your hand up and ask for it. So I've got 4 times a half. Okay. Minus 3, because my value of y is 3, equals negative 1. Let's see if this works. 4 times a half is 2. So I've got 2 minus 3 equals negative 1. 2 minus 3 does equal negative 1, so I'm right. Now the other way I want to do it, and this will work for every single equation, it's just a bit more working out. If I do 2x plus 3y equals 10, 4x minus y equals minus 1. Now, here I only times by one number, but what I'm going to do is, I'm going to times this one by my bottom value. So that one I'm timesing by 4. And this one I'm going to times by 2. And it's just to work for every single one. You don't have to think about your factors or your multiples. You get a bigger number, but again, it will generally always work. 4 times 2x is 8x. 4 times 3 is 12y. 4 times 10 is 40. Okay. 2 times 4 gives you 8x. 2 times minus y is minus 2y. 2 times minus 1 is minus 2. Then we always subtract. Okay, don't care what the situation is, you always subtract. Your x's will always be positive. I've never seen an example where your x's are negative. 8x minus x, 8x is nothing. 12x minus 2. So I'm going to use my calculator because I might not be good at subtracting. Minus 2 equals 14. So that's 14y. 40 minus 2. Again, I'm going to do it again. equals 42. Divided by 14, divided by 14. These cancel out. Y equals 42 divided by 14 equals 3. Y equals 3, which is exactly what I did here, and then you just substitute back into the same equation, just as what I did before. A is a point with the coordinates 2, 10. B is a point with the coordinates 5, D. Gradient of the line is AB is 4. Work out the value of D. Now it's important to always remember what the gradient is. Now the gradient is for every 1 we go across in the line, we're going to go up that amount. So we're going to go up 4, and this is important. So let's just do a little bit of a sketch. So I've got grid. This is going to be 2, 10. Okay. I'm going to put 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to put up here somewhere. So this is going to be 5, D. And I've drawn it roughly to scale. So we know for every 1 we go across, we're going 4 up. So if we're going 1 across, this coordinate here becomes 3. But then we're going 4 up, so it's going to be 3, 14. For 1 across, we go 4 up. So it's going to be 4, because that's my 1 across. And then 4 up, make it 18. And if we go 1 across now, we've hit 5, which is lovely. 18 plus 4 is 22. So it's actually going to be 5, 22. And that's my answer. 5, D is 22. Sophia pays 222 for a plane ticket. She also pays €100 airport tax. The exchange rate is £1 equals 1.38 euros. What percentage of the total cost of a ticket and the airport tax does Sophie pay for the airport tax? Okay, right. So first of all, we need to either convert everything into euros or everything into pounds. Let's go for euros, just because the conversion is a little bit easier. So I'm doing 222. If £1 is €1.38. We need to times this by 138 to change it into euros. Do that on the calculator. It's 222 times 1.38, which is a horrible number. Let's try this decimal. 306.36 euros. Right. So what percentage of the total cost? So we need to find the total cost. So we have to add the €100. So total cost is 406.38. So what percentage of the total cost of the ticket and the airport tax does Sophia pay for the airport tax? Now, it's easier for me if I think of this as a fraction. So if I think of a fraction of the airport tax and the total, it's going to be 100 over 406.36. It's important I keep this. So then all I need to do is change this to a percentage. And I can do that with a calculator. So do 100 over 406.36, which gives me this. Okay, times by 100, because we're talking about percentages, and it's going to be 24.6. Doesn't say around it. Okay, I might put 608. It says to 1 decimal place, so I'm looking here, which actually makes it 24.6%. So it has 6 identical cushions. Each cushion is a cuboid, 18 by 80 by 95. The cushions are covered with a protective spray. The protective spray is in cans. The label on the can has this information. It can cover 4 meters squared. Work how many cans are needed for 6 cushions and a protective spray. Right, first thing we have to notice is this a volume or is this a surface area question? People watch this, they think straight away it's a volume question, so they multiply them all. It's not. It's a surface area, because think about it. We're talking about the covered in the spray when you cover it. Second thing we've got to notice is this is in meters, that's in centimeters. It's 1,000 times easier to convert them all to the same units at the start. Now, 4 meters squared is not 400 centimeters squared. Okay? Because meters squared means you've got to actually square the units. Okay? So it's a lot easier to change these to meters straight away. So I'm making this 0.95 meters. I'm making that 0.8 meters. And I'm making that 0.18 meters. Okay, let's do the actual questions. Okay, this one here, I'm badly colouring in. That's 0.95 times, and the height is 0.18. This one here, so I'm putting lines on. That is 0.8 times the height is 0.18 again. And my top, which I'm putting crosses in. Okay, that's going to be 0.8 times, and my height is 0.95. Okay, now bear in mind this crossed one is also a crossed one at the bottom, the one that are badly coloured in is going to be the same on that side, and the one with the stripes is going to be the same at the back. So I'm going to work out the area of all of these, and I'm going to double it, okay? Just because this is one of the properties of cuboids. So let me just do this with my calculator. 0.95 times 0.18 equals 0.171. 0.8 times 0.15 equals 0.12. 0.8 times 0.95 equals 0.76. So I'm going to add these all up. Which is 1.051, and double it because it's the same on both sides. 2.102, and this is meters squared. Okay, now the spray in the can covers 4 meters squared. So we know that, so this is just one cushion, but we actually got 6 cushions here. So we need to actually times this by 6 first. So times by 6, which is 12.612. Okay, we know the spray covers 4 meters squared. Remember it's cans, so you want to see how many cans go into 12.62. So I'm going to divide this by 4, which is 3.153 cans. Now we can't buy 3.1 cans, so the actual answer is going to be 4 cans. A equals 1, 4, B equals 3, 2. Write down this is a convector. A plus B, A is 1 over 4, so 1, 4. B is 3, 2. We're adding them, so you just add the top, add the bottom. So 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 2 is 6. So the answer is 4, 6. 2A plus 3B. Now if you think 2A's, you've got times top and bottom by 2. So it gives me 2A plus 3, 2. Now on 3B's, so you times that by 3, which makes it 9, 6. We're still adding them together, which will make it 11, 14. Okay. Vector C is on the grid. From the point P, draw the vector 3C. So we want 3 of these. It's 3 across, 2 up. So only go 3 across, 2 up. It's 1C. 3 across, 2 up. It's 2C. 3 across, 2 up. That's 3C. Get a ruler, join them up. That's 3C. The height X centimetres and the width Y centimetres of the TV are in the ratio 9:16. Use this information to draw a graph to show the relationship between the height and the width of TVs using the X values from 20 to 80. Right. 20 to 80 is already on here, so it's the height from the width. So I'm just going to put it height to width, just so I don't have to keep going back. Now, easy way to do it is that for every 9 we go across, we go to 16. So 9's not on here, so that won't work. We could do 18 to 32. 18's not in here, so it still doesn't help us. So I'm going to add another 9 to this to make it 27. And I'm going to add another 16 to the 32. Okay, to make it 48. 27's here. 48 is, so 40, 50 is about there. So that's one mark. I'm going to put another one, I'll just add it again. Which will make this 36 to, I don't know, that's is 4 carry 1, 5, 6. 36 to 64. 36 is there, 64 is, that's 70, so 64 is there. Let me do one more. 36 plus 9 is going to be 45. Can add 16 to this again. That's 0, carry 1. 6, 7, 8, which is to 80. 45 to 80, which is here. So I've got 3 points, that's enough I need. I can get more if I want, but... Okay, so here's my line. Okay, use your graph to work out the height of this. Sorry, a TV is a width of 90. So we go up to 90, which is there. We go across to the graph, and we go down. You'd use a ruler, so that's 52. Right, work out the value of x. So it's right angle triangle. So anything with right angle triangle, it's either going to be trigonometry or Pythagoras. If you always go down trigonometry, you can normally work everything out. I've got 2 sides on an angle. That's a good clear sign that it's trigonometry. So I'm going to write down all the trig ratios. I remember it as some old hag cracked all her teeth on apples. I know you might remember it's Sokotoa, but it never really fitted with me, so some old hag cracked all her teeth on apples. Now, let's label it up. This is my opposite to my angle. This is my hypotenuse. I don't care about my adjacent, so the one that's got the opposite and hypotenuse is my sine. Okay, so it's the sine of the angle, which is 30, equals my opposite, which is x over 18. I like to just solve this. Whenever you get a fraction, I hate fractions, always times by your denominator, no matter what it is. So times by 18, times by 18. These cancel out. So I've got sin of 30 times by 18 equals x. Get your calculator. Always make sure your calculator's got D at the top for degrees. So I've got to do the sine of 30 brackets times 18 equals 9. So the answer is 9. In a sale, normal prices are reduced by 17%. The normal price of a washing machine is reduced by £42.50. Work out the price of this washing machine. Now, don't just jump into this. You've got to really think what's going on. So this isn't a percent decrease. It's actually an original percent question. But we know it's reduced by 17%. And we know 17% equals £42.50. Okay. Now we do now have to find what 100% is. Now, I'm a big fan of the ratio bar. So I'm going to do this. I know this is roughly about 17%, which is £42.50. We need to work out what 100% is. Now, 17 isn't a factor of 100, so we can't times it straight away, so we need to go via a number. There is one number which we can always go via, which is 1. So if we work out what 1% is, we can easily work out what 100% is. To work out what 1% is, we divide it by 17. So we've got to divide this side by 17. Do my calculator. £42.50 divided by 17. So I know 1% is 2.5. 1% is 2.5. To get all the way up to 100%, we times it by 100. So this one here, I have to go all the way up, times it by 100, which is 250. So the original price was £250. P squared times p to the power of n is p to the power of 6, finding our value of n. What we want to do in indices, if your base is the same, we know when you're timesing the actual number, you're adding your indices. So I've really got 2 plus n equals 6, minus 2 minus 2, n equals 4.